What's going on, guys? Welcome to Party on Broad. Today we are breaking down Eagles versus Panthers, celebrating a huge statement W for the Birds against the Ravens. Joining us, here's Rob Lange at Philly_Madness. What's up, Rob?
How we doing tonight, man? Still feeling pretty high after that win, and now we get ready for Carolina. I'm going to do the Nick Sirianni thing. I'm not looking behind. I'm not looking ahead. It's on the Carolina.
Absolutely. Also joining us, the Ryan Reese at Philly Sports PSA, Mr. Kenny Gainwell himself. What's up, Ryan?
Doing all right. Could have certainly done without that last part, but feeling great, honestly. The Eagles showed to the world that we're a top contender, and now we just need a little help to get that number 1 seed.
Man, it's going to be a fun ride. Again, today we're talking top reaction. We're going to deep dive into the Carolina Panthers, top matchups to watch, score predictions, fill in the blank, and X factors. Let's get into our top takeaways from last week. Lead us off, Ryan. What was your top takeaway against the Ravens?
My top takeaway was Jalen Carter.
Yeah,
just might be the best defensive player in the league, and you may not notice it always right away or in the moment, but man, when you look back and you look at some of his plays, and he just is constantly double teamed. What is it, about 83%, I think, of the time? He's getting held every single time, every single time, and yet he is still creating havoc. He's getting after Lamar Jackson, one of the fastest quarterbacks in the league. He is absolutely blowing up one of, in fact, the biggest player in the NFL, mind you, who is on the Ravens offensive line, and brought down Derrick Henry, the biggest running back in the league. He almost murdered Zay Flowers right there, and he's so dominant, and he was on full display on Sunday evening, and it was a beautiful thing.
Man, he, like you said, he's getting held on every play, and it does not matter. Rob, you talked about Jerome Brown last night. He was double teamed on 58.1% of his pass rush attempts yesterday. He's now got a 14.8% pressure rate, which leads all defensive tackles, 4.5 sacks, 12 tackles for loss, 12 QB hits. How many all-pro linemen are going to be on this defense, Rob?
It's funny. He absolutely needs to be one now because his sack numbers aren't where they need to be. A lot of people think that he may get, spurned this year, and then if he does it again next year, reputation. But you look at him and you look at the way he just dismantles a game. Lamar Jackson wanted to step up in the pocket last night. He couldn't do that because even being held, Jalen Carter was there. And it just makes it so much easier on guys like Milton Williams, who I think had 5 pressures last night. I thought Jordan Davis had maybe his best game as an Eagle yesterday, especially in the run game. He was in the backfield. He was hitting Derrick Henry first almost every attempt, which if you can at least bump Derrick Henry before he gets started, that's how you stop him. All of the defensive success on that line right now is because of Jalen Carter taking everything on himself. And, fans my age and then below are not going to remember Jerome Brown. And a lot of that is unfortunately because of his tragic passing. But this dude was the same type of player. Just go back and watch the 30 for 30 on the U. and understand that it was Jerome Brown who created that when he was there. And then he came to the Eagles with Reggie White on one side. I mean, it was ridiculous. And that's what you see out of this Jalen Carter kid and the swag he's got. He's always looking for somebody. What movie was it? The Water Boy, where the kicker's always looking for the one guy to kick the onside kick to. Yeah. Who's my bitch? It's like Jalen Carter thinks about that before the game and goes, who's the guy that I'm going to get in his head? It was Isaiah Likely last night. He finds a dude, and the swagger he brings, I'm telling you, man, this defense can be so much fun for the next decade. That's how good they are, and that's how young they are too.
Yep. Jalen Carter now has the 4th most pressures among defensive tackles this season. What was your top takeaway, Rob?
My top takeaway, it's interesting. It's 10-2 in 2024 has totally different vibes than 10-2 in 2024. I thought about it today, and I was like, oh, wow, they were 10-2 last year because they were 10-1, and then they lost to the 49ers, and then it was 10-2. But, man, the difference a year makes. And, everyone says you are what your record says you are. I don't believe that shit anymore because 10-2 right now feels so different from what 10-2 felt last year. And I, for one, love every minute of it. I love the vibes around this team. I love the locker room. If you look at, the pictures coming out of the locker room and videos coming out of the locker room, I heard today that Howie Roseman went in there, and the first thing he asked for was Michael Jackson because Pretty Young Things has become like a song for them. And when he asked for it, the whole locker room erupted in a roar and a cheer. There is just such a cool feel around this team, and they love each other. And I kept receipts. They love their coach, and people need to start understanding that. Because Nick Sirianni, he may piss us off, but those guys in that locker room, those 53 guys, love him and love what he does. The fact that on that 4th and 1, he had 3 guys on the sideline coming up to him saying, go for it. We got you, coach. Yeah. That means something. I know a lot of people don't think it does, but that certainly means something. So 10-2 feels great compared to last year's 10-2. That's my takeaway.
Sure does.
Yeah. Absolutely love it. I'm going to roll with the defense because that was the storyline of the evening. It's got to be Zach Bond. Zach Bond led the team in tackles again, 13, 8 solo. One of them went for a loss when he stopped Derrick Henry in the backfield on a 3rd and 2, forced a 4th and 6 punt. He also had a blitz that got to Lamar Jackson for a sack, pushed them back from the 15 to 29-yard line, and that led to the Justin Tucker miss. This was their first real test against this run, high-powered offense. And Derrick Henry was playing at a ridiculous level. He was one of only 3 running backs in NFL history with 1,300 rushing yards, 6 yards a carry, 10 touchdowns through 12 games. The other 2 were Jim Brown and Saquon Barkley this year. And he got off to a good start, 6 carries for 38 yards in the first quarter. Zach Bond and the defense shut him down. He averaged just 3.4 yards per carry the rest of the game. And you talk about all pros, and you talk about Jalen Carter. It also starts up the middle with Zach Bond. You got to add him to the list. He's been nothing short of sensational. All 3 levels of the defense has been terrific. We could go on and on about what Jalen Carter does for guys like Melton Williams and Josh Sweat and on and on. But Zach Bond has been the rock pretty much all season. He's been terrific. Give me Zach Bond as my top takeaway. David says, can we get Kenny Gainwell take from Ryan before signing off?
No, you know what? This whole thing
came from.
This whole thing is just getting a life of its own. It's on every single show that I do. And it's a real life thing. I was hanging out with my buddy Eric, who I do my football smack talk show with on Wednesdays, and I've been podcasting with him for 15 years. I've known him for almost 30 years at this point. And it's just kind of been my thing about backup running backs. I don't know what it is. Like, I just don't freaking like them for the most part. Not every single one. There's our exceptions. But like Smallwood certainly was one, and obviously look what happened to him. So score one for me.
You hated Will Shipley from the jump. Let's be real.
No, I actually like Shipley.
Ah,
Well, no, okay.
We have to go back, rewind that video.
Oh, no. Okay, all right, Dimes. All right, Dimes. Why don't we go back and do you too? Because we were both disappointed because we both wanted other people.
Other person, singular. You only wanted one other person.
Me? Did I?
Yeah.
Who is that?
All you wanted was Trot at that point.
Well, yeah, you're right.
You ended up getting him.
So I did get it, but I was like a running back. I was actually really liking Jalen Wright at that time.
He's a beast,
and
too.
he's certainly proven to be pretty good. But anyway, no, Shipley, I'm okay with right now. It's just Gainwell. It's just they're constantly relying on him. He obviously cannot carry the load. He can't be the guy. And listen, he's had some fumble problems, and it seems to me that they go to him a little too much in bigger situations. That I get giving Saquon a spell, but man, you know what? Do it when we're up by 20 points at the end of a game. You know what I mean?
Nice thing was he didn't have any carries this week, so you had to be thrilled.
I loved it.
By the way, I love talking to CEO Reese. Sitting at the end of the boardroom table.
Well, listen. This is my.
You look great.
Yeah, this is my official Super Bowl champion bar table.
Look at you.
And listen, if you would have showed up that one time, you would have seen it.
I don't even remember what that one time was.
And the matching coffee table over here.
But look at the pot calling the kettle black about showing up. I believe there was a 21-day absence from you.
I was in Texas.
Texas Mexicans, don't they? Don't have internet in Texas?
Oh, no, I was just busy going out to dinners and schmoozing.
Ryan was lucky.
Yeah, so I made a bet that if Gainwell basically scored a touchdown, I would present a surprise on the Birds of the Round Table. I still may do it just to kind of tease
Sounds
it.
like it's something I don't want to see. Jesus. What's the price?
All right. Let's settle down there, upstairs, Rob. Okay.
Yes, that's right. Upstairs, Rob. That's right.
All right, let's get into our top storylines to watch between the Eagles and the Panthers. Top storylines to watch. I mean, we already touched on the defense. I'll just piggyback off of it. This is a defense that's allowing 13.6 points per game since week 5, their bye. And if you take out the 3 garbage time touchdowns over the last 3 weeks, that's 10.9 offensive points per game. And Rob, we talked about it on the post-game show. It's not just like the points per game, it's how they're doing it. It's the Cooper DeJean tackle on Derrick Henry. It's the physicality. It's the tackling. It's the coverage. It's the nastiness. The Jalen Carter playing 100% of the snaps and being the beast we all wanted him to be. It's Nakobe Dean turning out consistent weeks of solid football. Everyone seems to be emerging at the right time. So for me, it's the defense. There are just no words to describe this youngest defense in the NFL. And could you imagine, like, if the Eagles luck out? I know I'm looking ahead, but this is what I do. It's my favorite thing to do. But if they add an awesome edge rusher to this already young defense, oh my God! I feel that's that it's just going to take everything to the top. Yeah, a guy that's 6'5", 6'6", like a Michael Williams or something like that. We'll start with Rob. What's the top storyline heading into this week?
It's hard to pick in games like this. I mean, you could play the did the Eagles fall into the trap game? But I don't even want to play that storyline anymore because I feel like we do it all the time here. So what I'm going to do is can Saquon Barkley continue to build the resume to become the first non-quarterback MVP since Adrian Peterson? Look, I get what people are saying about Josh Allen, and he's incredible, and he's a good quarterback. But I look at the game last night that he played in the snow, and I say, why are we not acting like San Francisco has been done for a couple weeks now, that they're not a very good defense, that their entire defensive line was different from last year that started last night. Like, Josh Allen has been great, but what Saquon is doing is historic, not just on the team, but in the league. Like, he is on pace to break Eric Dickerson's record. If he's able to do that, if he is able to break Eric Dickerson's record and continue to do the things he's doing with the stats that you gave me before the show, Dives, about the second half rushing of Saquon Barkley and the fourth quarter, he's the closer. If he's able to do these things and finish off the season as the all-time leading rusher for a season, he's got I think it's just wrong and it's malpractice to not give him the MVP at that point. I'm not saying he'll win it because I do think at the end of the day they're going to give it to a quarterback, but I think it's malpractice if he really doesn't get this thing, if he continues on this trajectory. So here's a game. You're not playing a great team.
Yeah.
They have been playing better as of late. They've been in games with the Chiefs and the Bucs the last 2 weeks, losing on last-second field goal and an overtime field goal. But this is a game where you hope that he can, pad his stats in the first 3 quarters and maybe get a little bit of a rest in the fourth quarter. But can he get that 150 rushing yards and another score? So I'll be looking for that. Can he continue to build this resume so that people can't take this award away from him?
Yeah, when we get the matchups, a lot of Eagles fans should be really excited for this one, especially Ryan, because this could also be a big Kenny Gainwell game.
Yes, sir.
With this Panthers run defense. But talking about
his first touchdown this week. There's my anytime touchdown scorer bet. Since I am the betting king now, right here.
Talk about closer. The Eagles were second best in the fourth quarter going into last week, 8.9 points per game. And they were a league best plus 49 in fourth quarter point differential. They outscored the Ravens 10-7 on Sunday. Man, it's so refreshing to have those 2022 vibes. Like, this team just puts teams away, and it's over.
It was 10-0, Dibes. Don't even give them their 7 points.
Fair. Ryan, what's your top storyline?
Top storyline is don't F it up. Don't just think because the Carolina Panthers aren't, that great of a team that you can, lay off. Get yourself a nice, comfortable lead. I mean, again, it's been one of those things where, they're not great in the first quarter. Let's be honest. They take a little while to get their, stuff together. So don't take this team lightly. Don't keep your foot off the gas. Go in there, handle your business, get up by a couple scores. Then you can put in the Kenny Gainwells of the world, the bums. So go ahead and do that and stay healthy. That's really the storyline. Is let's get through this week. We got to, again, not saying moving, looking forward to any other opponent, but let's just handle our business.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Top matchups. Let's start with Saquon Barkley versus the Panthers run defense. The run defense for Carolina is awful. One of the league's worst units by far. And that's why a lot of Eagles fans should be excited here. The Buccaneers destroyed the Panthers for 236 rushing yards on 39 carries. Bucky Irving, Rachaad White, they just carved them up from start to finish. That's a big reason why a lot of mocks see Mason Graham heading to Carolina at the top of this year's draft. Their run defense is awful. So that's got to be, we'll have more in-depth analysis on that for Birds of the Round Table tomorrow night. But for me, it's got to be Saquon versus this run defense. They should put this team away. And I actually tweeted this out during the Eagles scripted plays. during the first quarter yesterday. Like, just run the damn ball. Like, the Eagles scripted plays are so bad with the average depth of target, like 20 yards on throws. Like, I honestly don't care if it's a run, just a short pass, run the ball. Short pass, run the ball. Get in rhythm. Get to those AJ Brown slants, Dallas Goedert crossers, rub routes, all whatever. But that's it. So, Rob, do you have any matchups to watch here between the Eagles and the Panthers?
I want to see the Eagles pass rush bring Bryce Young back down to earth a little bit. He's played.
He's good, man.
He's looked good, and I'm happy for the kid. I am, because I thought it was unfair of the benching, but I don't want him to look good this week. I want this to be, you get after, you pin your ears back, and I want 4 or 5 sacks this week from the Eagles. Is what I'm looking for. I mean, that's one of the matchups, because, like, to kind of go off of what Ryan was just saying, I want this to be 21-3 at halftime. You know what I mean? I want this game to be comfortable, and I want it to stay comfortable. I don't want it to become a Jacksonville debacle. It's one of those. These are the games I hate, because if they don't blow them out, people are going to start flipping out again. And
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to happen. It's going to happen if they don't blow them out. So for me, the matchup is for the defense to just pin their ears back and make Bryce Young look like a rookie again. So I'll go with that one, just to be a little bit different.
Yeah. Bryce Young is playing really well, and he's a big reason why Carolina is somewhat competitive now. Like, he's confident, he's poised in the pocket, he can get the ball out in time, he's making tough throws, elusive, throwing with precision. I'm excited to see what this kid's got. Like, that elusiveness and being able to throw and be accurate outside of the pocket. Those are things that we saw in college that I liked a lot. I'm glad to see that element kind of come back for him. Is the NFL rigged? No, it's horrible, Gilo. I don't even know what else to say at this point. It's just comical. I'm numb to it now. I said my piece about it on the post-game show. It's laughable, and I don't know what else the Eagles can do at this point. It's what it is. Ryan, do you have a matchup to watch?
Yeah, it's going to be our run defense versus Chuba Hubbard. He's looked pretty good lately, although last week not so great. But he's had a nice season. I think he's just about at 1,000 yards. In fact, he's at 919, 7 touchdowns. He's done pretty well, just under 5 per carry. So I want to kind of build upon the good run defense that the Eagles kind of showed, especially in that second half, and carry that on into Carolina versus Chuba.
Yep, love it. Let's get on to our next segment, our Eagles fill in the blank. All right. The Eagles will beat the Panthers because, Rob.
Because they should. I mean, this is just one of those. Eagles will beat the Panthers because they're the better team, and they're playing the best football in the league right now, with winners of 8 straight. I mean, look, you've been road warriors. Your home games haven't been as pretty. I think that we've seen that for whatever the reason may be. It's time to put that theory to rest. It's time to come home, beat the doors off an opponent, leave no doubt from the beginning, and carry it through 4 quarters. This is one of those games where that's what you want to see. I mean, I know that sounds like stupid, but it really is. The Eagles should win the game because they are the better football team, and it's not close. They're the more talented roster. They're probably better coached. They have the better record. They're home. There's really no reason. I don't know what the weather looks like. Maybe the weather's the only factor if it's supposed to rain or something. I don't know. Cold is fine. Okay, good. Bring Carolina up to the cold. Yeah. I mean, that's just, I hate to be so simplistic, but yeah, that's it.
I'm going to go NFL. I'm going to go red zone defense for the Eagles. They've been doing really well in recent weeks. They held the Baltimore Ravens, which was unbelievable red zone offense, to just, I think, 2 of 5. And you look at the Panthers last week against the Bucks, they had no problem moving the ball up and down the field, but really struggled in the red zone, just 1 of 4. And then kind of similar shit with the Baltimore Ravens. They then kind of went back and missed some field goals. So some copy and paste there. So give me the Eagles red zone defense. What about you, Ryan?
Yeah, I kind of am in the, for once, I'm sharing the same mindset with Rob. It's because we should. There is not a single thing on Carolina Panthers that, one, scares me, 2, that are better than the Eagles, and the fact that we're at home, and there's just no reason. There's no reason for it. We're the hottest team in the NFL. We're absolutely playing amazing, and we need to continue that. We need to dominate this Carolina Panthers team. It's real cute that they've been playing, a couple of teams almost in overtime. They almost beat the Chiefs. Oh, it's a cute little thing here. A little kitty cats. Now, absolutely not. They are not in the same league as us. Show that on Sunday. Dominate the crap out of them. And throw those kitties out in the cold.
The kitty cats. That was funny.
G. Lo says hoping for a big league going into the 4th so we can rest the starters.
Yep.
The Eagles will lose to the Panthers.
Oh, can I go?
I mean, it's there are some concerns about this Eagles passing attack. They seem to, when they get into rhythm, it looks really good. They're going to AJ Brown. They're getting Dallas Goedert involved. It looks smooth. It looks nice, but there are times when they abandon it too much and they kind of go into Jalen Hurts and his comfort zone, which is throwing those deep balls down the field. Just keep doing what works, which is in recent weeks, utilizing the middle of the field, the slant routes. And that's all I got to say. So if they lose this game, it's going to be because they're just not adjusting on offense. And they can't afford consistently to just punt away 2-3 possessions a game to start out the gate. It seems like Kellen Moore kind of does that purposefully to kind of figure out what defenses are running and then exploits it in the second half. It's fun. It's working. I don't know how long that's going to last. Ryan, Eagles will lose to the Panthers because
That's a cute trap game. I don't believe in that personally. No, they will lose to the Panthers because they overthink themselves. They try to get cute. They try to do whatever is in their silly little heads at the time. And Sirianni overthinks it and tries to take control. And before you know it, boom, they're down by a couple of scores. And let's be honest, we haven't really seen this Eagles team in a while down by more than a score. So not really sure how they're going to react to that, being down by, a multiple score type thing, especially if it happens in the first half. So I think the only way the Eagles lose this game is if the Eagles themselves put themselves into a terrible situation by overthinking, not doing what they know, and if Sirianni kind of takes over and thinks he's the smartest guy in the room.
Rob,
just to be different, I'm going to say the Eagles lose this game because they look past this one to Pittsburgh. Obviously, Pittsburgh's a much better team. They come in here next, which will be a really good test for the offense, specifically because that defense is just as physical, if not more physical, than Baltimore. They preach that they don't look ahead, but that would be, in my opinion, the only way that they lose is if they just think that they don't have to fully show up on Sunday. My stance to that is fully show up for 3 quarters, put the game away, and then you can go sit down. That to me is the way you should look at it. But I don't know. I mean, look, obviously it's the NFL. Anything can happen on any given Sunday. I mean, we've seen it millions and millions of times. So is there, that's the only other way they lose is that the ebb and flow of the NFL just says that they lose this week. But I think it really is going to have to take Carolina playing perfectly and the Eagles playing as imperfect as they can.
Did anybody see that Lane Johnson interview after the game yesterday where he was saying Roquan Smith was calling out all the Eagles plays before they were happening? Did you see that? That's a little concerning. Yeah, Roquan Smith knew the play calling for the Eagles, which is a bit concerning.
Well, okay. Well, if that's the case, why weren't they better at defense?
Well, I was going to say, yeah, there's a concern there, but I think back. I know it was a movie, but I think back to the movie. Ever seen a movie Blue Chips?
Of course.
All right, and he's
giving Shaq, Penny Hardaway.
Yeah, and he's giving a speech to his team before they go play Bobby Knight, and he's talking about, I'll give them the playbook because it doesn't matter if they know the plays; they've got to stop them. So, right now the Eagles are proving that you may be able to stop us for a quarter here or there, but we're going to wear your ass down. And then we're going to bust it up in the fourth quarter if we have to. Now, obviously, I agree. I want to see them get it a little bit earlier. I think for whatever reason with their script, it's funny because offensive and defensively, it's the same thing. The first 2 drives of the game suck.
Yeah.
Right. And Fangio is probably using those first 2 drives to figure out what he's got to do. And it's almost like the Eagles are using that to figure out what they have to do. But I also think there's part of them that goes, well, let's see if we can become that air raid attack that we always want to be. And that's why you'll see Saquon get 13 yards and then not touch the ball, and then it goes to Will Shipley and Britton Covey. Like it's ridiculous. But, I mean, I agree with you. It's somewhat concerning, but I also believe in at the professional level especially, you could know everything. But if you can't stop it, if those guys are bigger than you and stronger than you and more physical than you,
ain't matter.
It ain't going to matter.
Yep. All right, let's get to our Eagles X factors to watch for Sunday. X factors to watch. No, Jalen Hurts does not count. So no picking Jalen Hurts or Saquon Barkley in this segment.
No, I feel like this feels like you should be telling yourself these rules because you are the king of going off script and choosing a friggin' coach. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna go Jalen Hunt.
Come on.
High snaps last week. It looked really good against the run, looked really good setting the edge. Excited to see he's kind of the guy that's going to be getting a lot more snaps going forward. I think he played, like 50% of them? Something along those lines?
Almost. I think 50. Or maybe he did play over 50. I forgot what it was.
Really happy about that. So give me Jalen Hunt for my X Factor. What about you, Ryan?
I'll go next. You're not ready.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I'm also going to go with the defensive end, but I'm going Nolan Smith this week.
Okay.
I think Nolan Smith is turning into a really nice football player, and I'm going to go out on the limb, because that's the way I do things. I make predictions with my X Factor, and I'm going to say 2 sacks for Nolan this week.
What the
2 sacks for Nolan Smith this week. All right, so you can make that bet if you can find that bet somewhere. Make that bet. 2 sacks, Nolan Smith. I think he has a really, really nice day.
Nolan Smith led all edge rushers with 81% of the snaps played. He had 3 pressures and a sack. Not too shabby. What about you, Ryan? Do you have one?
Man, y'all stole all the good ones. I'm gonna go with
Delton Williams, man.
that's. I don't think he. I
He
mean,
doesn't qualify anymore?
I don't know. He's been balling.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard because
Freaking Covey.
How about McCollum?
no. Gross.
McCollum was good. I thought he played fine.
I'm gonna go with Mekhi Becton.
I like. All right.
I really like the way he's been playing this year, and honestly, everybody keeps going, oh, they need to re-sign Zach Bond. They need to re-sign Zach Bond. Well, guess what? I think they need to re-sign Mekhi Becton too. I think he's just as important because I think you keep that line as intact as possible.
Yeah.
I mean,
There's a better chance Howie signs him than Zach because it's the offensive lineman.
Well, right. So I think both of those guys are equally as important. And again, if you really truly look at his snaps and what he's been doing, man, he's fun to watch. Honestly, he's having fun. You can see it on his face. Like he's hitting dudes and he's loving it. And he's hitting people in the second level and loving it. So Mekhi Becton has been an integral part of this run offense. And I'm pretty sure Saquon owes him a car or a small island. I don't know, whatever.
Small island. Interesting.
Yeah, they're pretty cheap nowadays.
Okay.
All right. Those are our X factors. Let's wrap it up with score prediction. All right, the Panthers, I'm reading 5-8 all time against the Birds. Eagles are 7.5-point favorites. Over-unders at like 45. That seems low. That seems really low.
That's too low.
Lead us off, Mr. Draft Kings, Rob Lange. What's your score prediction?
FanDuel, but that's okay. Anyway, we move past that. I'm going to go with 30-17, but it's really not going to be as close as that score. I think the Eagles are keen on giving up that garbage time touchdown, so they're probably up 30-10 through most of it. And then as the fourth quarter starts weighing on, Carolina tacks one on just to mess with you DVOA guys, piss you off. But also for you bettors out there, that means if you get the Eagles at 12.5, you win because they'll win by 13 just to make you happy. So yeah, I'll go 30-17.
Yeah, this website's saying the Eagles are 12.5-point favorites.
Yep.
With over under at 45.5. What the hell? Interesting. Yeah. What about you, Ryan?
I'm gonna go 34-13. Also with a garbage late, field goal, maybe touchdown. They give up something late either way, but it's pure dominance. And we'll see Kenny Two Gloves out there. Kenny Small Hands. For sure.
Kumar says Coop.
I
put a poll out. What play was better, the Saquon Barkley backwards hurdle or the Cooper DeJean tackle on Derrick Henry?
That's not even close.
Yeah,
that perfect form pick up Derrick Henry and slam him down tackle was so awesome. But I think the moment was bigger in the Cooper DeJean hit. Yeah, but we've seen it before, and we haven't seen it. So from a play versus a play, Okay, but if not taking all the other things into consideration.
All right, I'm throwing one in there. Sorry, late edition. The Devontae Smith one-handed catch in the back of the end zone.
There have been some hell of some plays.
There's been some amazing plays. It's still Saquon Barkley. That whole play, because it's not just the reverse hurdle, it's the juke, it's the spin, and then it's the backwards hurdle.
I may have just bought a Christmas tree ornament of the reverse hurdle. So
I saw that. I saw that, and I think I still have it in my cart.
Yeah, man. The best plays highlight reel of this season is going to be nuts, man.
by the way, Quinion gets a pick this week. The pick comes this week. I'm going to say it every week until it happens.
We're going to say it every week. You know what? You say Quinion, I'll say Cooper gets it.
Yeah.
What are these?
Stiff arm. Yeah, there's so many. There's so many. Yeah. Part of me thinks it's going to be a close game. I don't know why. I'm going to say Eagles 30, Panthers 26. I think
you think they're going to let up 26 points to that offense?
I'm going to take that back. Give me Eagles.
Just bullied the hell out of them, Ryan.
Yeah. That's what I like to see.
I've barely put any thought process in.
Well, obviously, if you're saying 30-something to 26.
I feel like this could be one of those games where, like,
don't overthink it.
No, let me go. Eagles 20, Panthers 13. 20-13. A low-scoring affair.
Oh, that was quite the difference.
That's what I do. 34-15.
That's close to mine. I was 34-13. Yeah, agree, Q. Agree, Q.
Saquon is better than Devontae.
Ryan, he changed it to 20-13.
No, I know, but the dude in the chat, he said 34-15. Yeah,
I feel like that's got to be scoregami right there. 34-15 just seems.
Yeah, that's a tough one. That's field goals all day. Yeah, somebody get that field goal kicker in fantasy. By the way, how are we doing in fantasy, gentlemen? Rob?
I'm doing fine. I'm tied in first place with you.
Are you though right now?
I am. We're both 9-3 actually.
Yeah, and are you gonna win tonight?
I mean, right now, Bo Nix has a 38 touchdowns and Cortland Sutton has 50 yards. I'm right there. Oh, to tell you, dude. Well, right now, I'm in the driver's seat. The way I look at it.
I had a much needed W this week.
Yeah, you did. I was.
You were floundering there, Tibes.
I was proud of you. You finally got your shit together.
All right.
Listen, fantasy means nothing after my day yesterday, because that was the 1 o'clock window of games was the most fun I've had. The last 25 minutes.
Yeah, there was.
I needed the Colts, the Steelers, the Texans, and the Vikings. And all 4 of those games were this live on the edge of your seat, and I had all my TVs going. So I had everything on, sitting down there by myself, acting like a goddamn lunatic.
I would have been too.
It was amazing.
Yeah. Wow.
All right, let's wrap it up. Rob, final thoughts, Eagles, Panthers, plugs. Time is yours.
Yeah, look, just show up and do what you're there to do this week. Show up and do what you're there to do. No, he didn't. No. I said, see.
I don't know if he's. I did make a whole video on Nolan Smith last week.
Okay.
Maybe he's referring to that. I have no idea.
By
the way, what is IDP? I don't even know what that is.
Individual defensive player.
Oh,
beat you to it. Shut up, you.
Yeah, whatever. I've been playing fantasy for 30 years.
I've never heard of it.
It's because you're old.
I am.
See, Rob? There it is.
I stand corrected. I stand corrected. Anyway, Eagles, do what you're supposed to do. Show up. Win the game big. Have some fun with it. You catch me here on Mondays with my friend and Ryan. I mean my friends. But no, love doing the show with these guys. Make sure you're liking and subscribing. Love when I'm on the post game shows with you. They're fun as well. So,
Yep.
And then you can follow me at Philly_Madness for my weekly after second drive miserable tweet that I put out. Yes.
Ryan, final thoughts. Time's yours, man.
Yeah, I'm with Rob here. Take care of your business. Handle your shit. And don't get hurt. That's all. Other than that, boom, I'm right here. There it is. Follow me there on X. I got shows Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, either here on Party on Broad or on the Eagles Pinpool Network. Yeah, that's just smart the way the Eagles play. Come on, man. A rookie mistake.
It's
Mistake. And let's hope that Bo Nix throws a touchdown to not Cortland Sutton. So Rob loses, and then I take control over first place.
This guy. I have so much real estate in your head, I should be coming to you as an agent.
Why is that? You're talking to the current champ. Don't forget.
You're worried about Cortland Sutton catching a touchdown pass. I own your brain right now. It's unbelievable.
I'm sorry that my ring is in my ear. I can't hear you. What?
Well, that would be stupid. Who puts a ring in an ear?
Well, hey, when you're a champion, you do whatever you want to that ring.
Whoa. Please, no one wants to know what's going on behind closed doors at CEO Reese's headquarters.
All right, guys. Join us tomorrow night, Birds of the Round Table, 8 o'clock, over at Eagles Pinpool. More Eagles versus Panthers talk, more Eagles Ravens talk.
Please, no more ring talk. Jesus Christ.
Ryan and I did last weekend a top 5 my guys on offense for the Eagles in the 2025 NFL draft. We also did defense the previous week. We're definitely going to be getting ready for some college football playoff previews and things like that.
Can't wait.
Yeah, it's going to be so much fun. Be on the lookout for that. Of course, all the shorts, all that kind of stuff.
Quick question, Dibes, Reese.
What's up?
Does Penn State have any chance at competing with Oregon on Saturday?
I do.
No.
You think they do?
Mm-hmm.
No.
I do.
Because of their defense?
I think it's a 2-score victory for Oregon.
I think you're not wrong, Brian. In the end, you're probably right. But I think Abdul Carter is playing outstanding. And I think Oregon's beatable. I don't think they're this juggernaut.
They are.
And I think if you catch Drew Aller on the right day, and I'm one of those guys. I'm not even a Penn State fan, but like eventually James Franklin has to get out of his own way and
No, he doesn't.
and get it done, right?
I'm a Penn State fan, and that guy drives me up a wall.
I can't even imagine. I can't even imagine. Yeah, I agree that the Ducks are a good team, but I don't think they're some great number 1 football team. I'm not a big Dylan Gabriel guy. They've got some pieces, but I do think.
In this scenario, say if Penn State does beat the Ducks, do they have a shot at number 1?
Well, they have the bye. I mean, they're going to be one of the top 4.
They would definitely be top 4.
Yeah, because they win the Big Ten, so they go in as
well. Right, I'm just saying overall, like rank. I know it technically doesn't really matter when you're about to do the playoffs, but
I don't know. Do they pass? I don't know if they pass Texas if Texas keeps winning.
And Georgia's been rolling.
Well, they're what? They're Ohio State lost, so they jumped them, right? Did they come out?
They should jump Ohio State.
I didn't see if they came out with it.
I didn't see if they came out with the AP or not, where they were, if they were 2 or 3.
Yeah, they're 3.
So they're going Oregon, Texas,
Penn State. Right, but if you beat Oregon, the number 1 team in the land, wouldn't you think that'd be enough to jump Texas?
Not if Texas wins their conference. I think they're going to give it to Texas because
who the hell is Texas about to play?
In the conference,
Georgia. Yeah, Georgia.
Which
they're about to play Georgia.
Didn't Georgia beat Texas?
They sure as hell did.
Oh man, that's going to be a fun one. I think
we need to, Rob, you need to join us for our college football playoff. It's just going to be picks and predictions.
Yeah, I love it, dude. This is the most locked into the college football season I've been. So, like, if a lot of fans are like me, the college football playoff has changed things. And the fact that there has been anarchy every weekend, there's some type of holy crap, this team beat that team. It's been unbelievable, man. It's been so much fun to watch.
A great season. It really has.
Yeah, it's gonna be really fun. Our plan is to do like, of course, picks and all that kind of fun stuff, but also do like fantasy. Pick individual players who we think are gonna have big performances, and we'll make it a draft. Like
it.
We each have like 5 players or something like that, and see who wins. All right, guys, we are wrapping it up. He is Rob Lange at Philly_Madness. He is Ryan Reese at Philly Sports PSA. I'm Dibs. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you tomorrow night over at Eagles Pin Pool for Rob, for Ryan, for myself. Stay awesome.